Okay. It looks like we are live. Everything is rolling, super fantastic. Thank you so much for joining me today. My name is Jason Levine, Principal Worldwide Evangelist for Adobe Creative Cloud. And in today's brief live stream, I'm going to show you how to find and acquire royalty-free music, loops, music beds, and even sound effects that you can use in any production that you publish anywhere. If anyone's been following, if you do any stuff on YouTube or Instagram or wherever, you know there's all this stuff happening right now with demonetization due to copyright and many other reasons. And as a music producer myself, I've encountered some of these issues. So the key is, if you're not going to be creating your own music, you need to be really careful about the music that you're using in your videos, because it can either be demonetized or taken down or any number of things, because these platforms are free. So here's the really awesome thing. With the stuff that we have as part of your Creative Cloud membership, we have thousands and thousands of music loops, sound beds, sound effects, which you can download today. You can download them in zipped collections and begin perusing and use these in any kind of production that you do. And you don't have to worry that anything's going to happen, that you'll be demonetized, or that someone's going to put in a copyright claim. This stuff is all royalty-free and very largely created by yours truly. So just a quick round of hellos before we get started. All right. Wei Ben Najem, yeah, how are you doing? Very nice to see you. Andrew Kavanaugh, great to see you, man. Mariana Ludford, hello from London. Mike Duvall from Music City, Tennessee. My former home. Very nice to see you. And let's see, chiming in on the YouTubes, you got Leonardo Favoretto, how are you? Timo Ovaska, sorry about that. Desiree, Zalsale, very nice to see you all. Okay, so let's go ahead, let's kick it. Let's get it. I'm so pretty. I'm gonna get it. All right, Alex Aranda from Cholula, Mexico. DeShepper from Belgium. Carlos, saludos. Terry White, what is up, my friend? If you haven't checked out Terry's streams this week, he just did an Ask Me Anything. Actually, I was almost thinking about doing that today, but then I kind of got this idea to show some of these audio files, but you definitely need to check out Terry White's streams. He's always streaming on the InDesign channel, Facebook, Creative Cloud, Facebook right here, Lightroom Facebook, and of course on Twitter Periscope and on his YouTube channel. You can find all of his stuff at terrywhite.com or terrywhite.tv. I always forget, Terry, which one it is. You'll have to correct me in the chat here. But great to see you. Thanks for coming, man. Monique, John Arild Foss from Guadalajara, Peter Bissett, Steve Kosaboom, Wellington, New Zealand. Very nice to see you. And Michael Angelo from the Bronx. What's up? William Weeks from Memphis. Nice to see you as well. All right. Bhupayan Sundaram. How am I? I'm doing very well. Thank you. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. So where to find? Number one. All right, so you find this content through Audition. Now, actually, if you go into Google and you simply Google the word loopology, Loopology, you'll be able to find this content as well. However, again, as a Creative Cloud member, if you've got Audition, there's an easier way to do it, and this will kind of let you do this right from within the app. Up at the window menu here, or excuse me, it's in the help menu, you'll see that we actually have something in here that says download sound effects and more. Not a heck of a lot of reason why you'd even go to this menu or even really discover what that is. And to be honest, I many times in the past have forgotten that we even have that link there. I used to tell people to go to my former blog, and there was a blog post there, and you could link it from there. So when you click download sound effects and more, that's going to take you to this page, which looks like one of our older designed pages from adobe.com, where you can see that now you can download sound effects, over 10,000 sound effects in 27 bundles, music loops and beds, 33 bundles, thousands of high quality loops, all created by yours truly with a couple of friends, and then sound booth scores. We're not going to worry about that, and no, there are not any more coming soon. We really need to take that one out of there, but I guess there's still some people using sound booth from back in the day. So let's start with music loops and beds, because this is, again, if you're creating content for YouTube or Instagram or Facebook, you know, this is where today, really, right now, such a timely topic, people are freaking out because even stuff that they thought was royalty-free or that they had a Creative Commons license for, things are getting demonetized, they're getting flagged, things are happening, and you know, like on YouTube, you can't swap out your video after the fact like you can nicely on Vimeo. So it's a problem, right? Well, when you click on Music Loops Embeds, this is going to take you to a series of zipped archives that include a whole different series of styles of music. So everything from ambient, blues, classical, orchestra, country, disco, etc. Drum one-shots. Now these are all loop files specifically. If you go down to the bottom, this is where you'll find complete music beds. So these are, I created a whole series of specific timed music beds that are also, in some cases, loopable, usually in 15 or 30-second durations. These were largely built kind of with broadcast in mind, or radio, or anything really. Frankly, you can use them for anything. And you can see there's a couple of different styles, and I'll preview a whole bunch of these for you, including stuff like wedding and event content, techno, sports, rockabilly, general music for, you know, the average kind of PSA or something. And then sort of corporate style music beds, a couple of other ones, bossa nova. But there's tons of content here. And if you haven't checked this out or exercised it already, you really should. Similarly, and we'll come back to it here, if we go to sound effects, just to sort of show you the categories, and I'll show you these live. Again, thousands, over 10,000. Ambience, animals, cartoon effects, crashes, drones, fire, explosions, Foley, all of your breathing and running and panting and footstepping on different surfaces. So if you're doing any kind of sound design and you don't have this stuff already, and you don't own libraries, get it here. They're royalty free. You can use them, you can produce them, put them anywhere, and you're clear. You're free and clear. So awesome. You just can't redistribute the sound effects or the music or the loops or the beds. That's it. But you can use these in any production without any flagging because this is all created to be royalty free for you. All right. So once you download these zip archives, you unzip them. It will create a series of folders for you. So let's go over to Audition, where I have the beds, the entire Loopology music collection. These are just some other sessions of mine, and then sound effects. So let's start with some of the individual loops. Now, the really cool thing about the individual loops collection is that these are, in fact, loops that I built in an older, much older version of Adobe Audition. Now, what does that mean to you? Well, if you're using another application for music creation, one that supports loop files, you can use any of these in, I was totally blanked, Fruity Loops, Ableton, Pro Tools, Nuendo, any application, any DAW. If you've got loop files and you want to drag things out and then adjust tempo and everything, you can use these for that specific purpose. They're all 32-bit waves, and they're all played and performed. Something that I also like to point out about our loop files here, nothing was sequencer generated. Everything was played by these fingers or hands with sticks or basses, drums, guitar, whatever it is. Everything's played and performed. Nothing is sequenced. So these have a real organic kind of feel to them, even though they are fully digital. Having said that, there's also some dance and some other styles that go back a few years that may be a little dated. But there's lots of TR-808 in here and TR-909, because I used to own those machines, and I multi-sampled everything. So there's lots of really cool stuff in here. So like just yesterday, someone was asking me, hey, where can I find some royalty-free choirs? I'm doing this thing and I need like, some angelic choirs for this production I'm doing. All right, again, not the easiest thing to find if you don't know where to look. Well, we have a whole section here called classical and orchestral. So I'll twirl this down and you can see this kind of gives you an idea. So Arco, upright, in E flat at 80 beats per minute. Now again, I included all this information, giving you the key and the tempo, because at the time when these were built, Audition had a looping engine. So that's really just a reference for you, so you know, oh, okay, we've got strings in A, strings in E, etc. And then if I don't list a key, that's because the files themselves will typically have the key name or the root note in the name of the actual file. So let's go into something like some of the choirs here, all right? And we've got a whole bunch of them. Now, one of the nice things is inside the media browser, the same media browser that you have in Premiere and After Effects, you can actually listen to all of these before you import them or decide to use them in your production. So if I just start clicking on these, as long as I've got my autoplay button engaged here, I can click on it and we'll take a listen to what it sounds like. Okay, and we can keep moving down with our arrows here. That's nice. You can also see the duration. All right, these are all 4 or 8 seconds approximately at 60 beats per minute. creepy about that one. Okay, so if we wanted to start working with one of these, you can double click it, bring it into the editor here, and here's our sample. Here's our loop. All right. Now, continuing on from there, let's just take a listen to some of the other things, because maybe you want some kind of, I was just watching Game of Thrones the other night, and I thought, oh, this has got some kind of really cool underscore. So maybe a combination of choir and strings, or orchestral hits or sounds, or maybe some pizzicatos. So if we go into something like, let's see, I don't remember where they are now, into some of these orchestral sections, let's take a listen to some of these. And by the way, these are loop files. So if you want to hear them looped, just enable the loop playback button here. Now you can hear what it sounds like when they're looped. "60 beats per minute." Very nice orchestral hits there. Okay, I gave you what's known as a flat 6, flat 7, 1, 7 there. Very common chord progression in pop music, and not so much in classical, but you hear it a lot in underscore and in films. You can see you've just got an entire array of chords and changes that you can create here really easily. If we go into the solo and ensemble, yes, this is where we have pizzicatos and things. So again, lots of solo instruments as well. So here's some trumpets. Oboe, flute, and strings. And you could take one of those timpani files, right? These are 120. Right, and very quickly start assembling something really cool. Very diatonic here. See, perfect loops. They work really nicely. I like this. So again, let's double click on that, bring that in here, kind of shows you what it looks like. Okay, you get the idea. So tons of stuff in here, lots of options. I love some of the sforzando strings. So again, if you're creating, I've used a lot of these in various productions of my own where you want some kind of tension or drama. Diminished, augmented. So again, you're going to get a lot of very sort of melodic and kind of standard stuff in here because I was using some of my own favorite motifs and techniques in authoring a lot of these. Now you'll see, of course, you've got everything from disco, funk, rock, industrial, lounge, Latin, noise, house, reggae, ska, rumba, rockabilly, techno, dance, urban R&B, world and international. So let's go into something like here. Let's see the techno and dance ones. Yeah. So here, this is where you're going to find lots of collections of different loops and samples that I've recorded using a lot of classic instruments, including things like Moog synthesizers, ARP synthesizers, some simulations of those, not that you would know, different drum machines and things that I'm actually playing. Again, nothing sequenced, not even pattern sequenced. Everything's played manually here. Mellotron, Chamberlin, really neat and cool, creepy stuff in here. So yeah, I'm just trying to think. Some of these ARP basses. Let's take a listen to some of this. some super low ARP bass here. Cool. Using my arpeggiator on this, which I'm okay, you get the idea there. Let's go into Chamberlin strings. Ooh, classic creepy Chamberlin. Brother to the mellotron. Got some mellotron choirs too, which I've shown on stream here, which are very creepy. There, I kind of stereoized it for you. Alright. So many cool, neat things in here. Here, let's check another one of these. Let's go into some of this. So here's some analog bass. Again, mixed in stereo. Craziness here. All right, you're also going to find, let's see, no, was that the one I was just on? Oh, so this is some actual Rickenbacker bass of mine. If anybody's making a revival of like 70s cop films, you always need this bass line. All right, you get the idea. Tons of stuff in here, tons of different styles. Similarly, if we were to go into some of the music beds, let me just play a couple of these for you. So again, now these are meant to be, these were designed for specific time durations. So you can see corporate 15, corporate 30. These are 15 and 30-second variations of these different songs that I composed. But take a listen. Something like that. Or here, let's go into one of these sports ones. Turn off autoplay. Here we go. Let's check this out. Okay, and you can hear like especially if you ever do, listen to radio and stuff, a lot of these can be used as like, in between sections or as a bumper or something like that. So you could imagine, if you're listening to like talk radio and then they're going to a quick like traffic update, right? All right, so we've got traffic on the 101 all the way from West 94th to West 115th Street. Be sure to be careful out there, and we're going to take you right back now to Led Zeppelin and Led Zeppelin 4. Right? I mean, you could... They write themselves, okay, these kinds of beds and things. They're just fun. They're cool. Again, if anyone's getting married, I've got some, I think I did some Pachelbel Canon stuff in here. Oh, that is not Pachelbel Canon. That was kind of nice. Totally forgot about that one. Let's see this. Oh, there we go. Can't tell you how many times in the early days I would get asked about pocket bell canon. All right. Anyway, so music beds, okay? Tons of them. Loopology sounds, thousands and thousands, over 5,000. And then that brings us to sound effects. And the sound effects, really, for any person who's using any kind of video, doing any kind of video, whether you're just doing social videos and you're using Adobe Rush, these sound effects come in handy because you sometimes need little transitional elements, also known as imaging elements, you know, whooshes, all those kind of things, little Doppler-y sirens and laser effects. All of that stuff can be found in here. So, you know, for example, if we just look at something like ambience, all right, here, I'm just going to make this a little bit bigger, expand this out a little, all right. So you can see, I mean, there's incredible detail in the naming here. Ambience, air conditioner level 3, concession, popcorn machine, you know, blah, 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 blah. You can just keep previewing through all of these. I've shown these many times on stream. All right, so let's take a listen here. Not a lot of excitement in the ambience of the repair shop. Girls Junior Varsity Sideline. That's very specific. Boiler room. Bowling alley. Bus stop near road. Passenger side floor, wet road. Okay, you get the idea. I'm not going to preview all these ambient ones, but there are dozens and dozens of them. All right, factory sounds, and they're all alphabetized, really easy to find. Animals, again, you need animal sounds. Turkeys, goldfinch. I don't even know what some of these are. Peacock, duck, brown-headed cowbird, chirp. You know, Australian tree frogs. We've got them in here. Cartoon ones, fire and explosions. These are huge because, again, sound design, game sound design, massive. Right, you need cannons, eruptions, fireworks, dynamite. So much cool stuff in here. I've used tons and tons of these. Foley, again, this is the kind of stuff that if you're doing any kind of layback to video, so useful. You know, coins in pocket, dropping coin on wood, leather rustling, rattling, taking off jeans, putting your belt on. I mean, these are all these things matter. You know, if you show this, you see a lot of these like what are they called? Like a mall haul or fashion haul, like when people are doing their videos and they're putting on stuff. Some of the best ones that I've seen are where they actually do sound design of like zip, because they'll zoom in on the zipper for lack of a better location. But just adding some of those elements just makes it more fun to watch, right? So again, thousands and thousands of Foley sounds, footsteps, a whole section just on footsteps, because that's the most critical stuff. You know, if you're showing people running, you want to sell the video, sell that image as you're watching it. You got to have the sound of their feet, and it has to be on the right surface, right? If it's on concrete, you can't use the sound of someone walking up wood steps. It's going to sound very fake. So you've got those in there. Horror, imaging elements. These are some of my favorites. Again, a lot of sort of movie trailer-ish sounds. And you're thinking, oh, I could use this. I can use this whole sample? Yes. All right. Some of these are very similar, obviously. Beeps and digital glitches. Spooky voices. Cool. There's also liquid, water, so you can see here like mud, wet splash, mud gurgle, pouring liquid in glass. You know, Yes, you can do it yourself. Yes, you can record it with an iPhone or something. But here you've got a 48K, 32-bit stereo wave already recorded of someone pouring liquid. Guess what? The viewer doesn't know that it's water or scotch or whatever. That's how you sell it, though. Liquid sink in bathroom draining water. Ooh, that was gross. Bubbles. By the way, I used some of these for my Bubblecano game that I did years ago with Mike Gabori. And the funny thing is that I actually wound up recording a lot of the blowing bubble sounds by using the mic on stream and just blowing into a cup, forgetting that I had so many of them here. I wound up using some of them in the end, but just kind of funny that you've got all this stuff. So again, it's that easy. You can double click on them. Weather especially, these are so cool. Oh, and transportation. These are magnificent, having like airplanes, jets, airplane jet idle, jet engine on runway. You know, and then when you get into, there's motorcycles and cars, very specific. Nissan Altima, door unlock, door interior. There's all kinds of, police car. Peel out, you know. Start, idling. This is Saturn, glove box close. Trunk exterior. Sunroof, interior. All of these things available to you. So there's really nothing to it. Go into Audition, again, up in the help menu, download sound effects and more, which will take you to the site. You can grab these as zipped files and just start downloading them and put them on a drive somewhere, put them on your network. They're amazing. They're royalty free. Like I said, are all of these going to be useful to you? No, grab the ones you want. That's why we zip them up in collections. But this is really, you know, it's a great extra resource that we give you, especially in light of all the chaos that's happening today with all the copyright issues on YouTube and everywhere else. This is the best way to use royalty-free sound effects, music, beds, and loops, and you don't have to worry about it. And if you're a music creator and you want just some different sounds, you know, you're looking for some different grooves, different beats, maybe you don't want to make them yourself, I've already made them for you in multiple styles, about 30 different styles to be actually precise. So check those out as well. All right, over to a couple quick questions in the chat here, see if anybody has any. All right, let's see. All right. Arva Hansen from Moss, hello. Jocelyn. Mariana Ludford. No divorce content. Well, you could probably make some, you know, not specifically. Gabriella Brazil, hello. Scott Owens, yes, where's the music? All right, showed you that. Steve Kahn, great to be back. Boris Starbursky, oh, thank you very much. Mariana Ludford, oh, I'm glad you like the music, Mariana. All right, let's check over here on the Twitters. All right, Richard Hawks, how are you? Okay, Jenna C, hello. Marcelo, how are you? Daniel Nayera. All right. Drew Bayoti Saha. Oh, thank you very much. Love from India. Narendra, hello. Richard Hawks, how are you? Rohit Chowdhury. Make a video on how to make your own music. Yes. Ant, how is it going, man? Never thought to look for royalty-free audio in CC. Right, it's pretty undiscoverable. I mean, no one would look. And again, you wouldn't just assume it's in Audition either. So that's why I wanted to present this today, especially on the Creative Cloud channel. The Max, where can I find more audio free? So obviously there's lots of other free sites on the web. But the thing is, as people are finding out, a lot of these sites that say royalty-free content or, you know, Creative Commons, you just, unless you're going with a really reputable company where you're paying for them, and then you're paying for a very specific license, you know, finding the free stuff that's out there, like just looking for free or royalty-free sounds, isn't the best way to do it, and it's just not the safest way to do it. So again, I really highly recommend checking out our collections first, and then look for other stuff. But this stuff is really super cool. Graphic Design 8962, hello. Whooshes and impacts are awesome, says Ant. Yeah, I mean, that's, again, some of the most common stuff, even just for transitions, right? You know, the way that people edit everything jump cut style today, it's really useful to just have some of those, like those kinds of things are awesome. Oh yes, and Iowa Duck, BBC. The BBC actually just released a a collection. In fact, hold on a second here. I think I have that bookmarked. I can share that in the chat too. Yeah, that's it. Okay. So I'm going to put this in the chat. Wait, let me see. Actually, I should be able to access this. Yes, here we go. So this was really cool. The BBC made available last year 25,000 of their most iconic and classic sound effects to be used royalty-free anywhere. Now, the thing about this is there's some licensing information there too. I just posted it in the Facebook chat. I'll stick it in the YouTube chat as well. The thing to keep in mind there, again, for you audiophiles, is that these sound effects go way, way back. So lots of them are in mono. Lots of them are just, they in fact, I don't know that they'll have the Wilhelm scream, but, they've got a lot of really classic sounds, which especially if you watched like British film from, 1950 to 1970, you're going to recognize a lot of these things. Even some of the sound effects in there have been used on Beatle recordings and stuff. I mean, there's 25,000 plus of them. So that's another great resource. But again, if you want something that's absolutely free and clear, ready to go today, and organized by collection very easily, the BBC one is good, but it's so heavy that searching through them can take a lot of time, and previewing them on the web, obviously, it works great, but it's a little slower than just having local access. So however you feel most necessary, you want to do this, but it's really wonderful, and there's great stuff. All right. Cool. All right, F. Smidic, nice to see you. Okay, let's see if we got anything else here. No, let's bounce over. John Arid Foss, thank you. Oh, you're very, very welcome. Mike Duval, you are very welcome as well. Let's see if we've got anything else here. Daylight 3D, RRB, MCS Effect, Cliff Lewis. All right, cool. Nice. Awesome. All right. Well, hey, thank you so much for joining me on the stream today. I hope you have a great weekend. Hope you do something fun, create something awesome, whatever it is you're going to do. Thank you so much, as always, for joining me. Naturally, you'll be able to watch the replays on the Creative Cloud Facebook page, on Twitter Periscope, as well as on my YouTube channel. So until Monday, where I'll be back on the Premiere Pro Facebook page and Twitter Periscope and YouTube, doing some cool thing. Have a great weekend wherever you are in the world, and we'll see you again next time. Take care, everybody. Oh, and I also want to promote, just before I forget, next Thursday, here on the Creative Cloud Facebook page, a very special live stream showcasing what is new in Creative Cloud for video, audio, and animation. So you'll want to check that out. It's 9 a.m. Pacific time next Thursday, April 4th, on the Creative Cloud Facebook page. You can actually, there's an event sign up on Facebook if you'd like to be notified about that. But that's a very special broadcast showcasing all of what's new and coming in the next version. So you want to check that out. So again, thanks so much for watching. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.